What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Naughty Garage. So guys, today we are doing something a little bit different. In today's video, we're actually going to be building a car instead of taking apart a car. So that is kind of exciting. So Nora and I have a friend called Nick. He does a lot of coding for us, and he actually went ahead and bought himself an M3. Flew from Denver, Colorado to Los Angeles, picked up this E92 M3, was hit in the back, and he drove it all the way to Sacramento, which, if you guys don't know, is about a 6.5 hour drive to where we're at right now. Our shop is located in Rancho Cordova, California. He drove it all the way over here. He stored it here for about a month, and then we ended up actually putting together the car with him. So that is kind of what this video is about. He went ahead and picked up that car and rebuilt it. This is going to be that video, guys. So it is a little bit different, but I hope you guys still enjoy. Also, I wasn't too much a part of this build. This was mostly Nor and Nick who was doing this. Nor took care of a lot of the rebuild things. Nick took care of a lot of the maintenance things. So I won't be in this video much, but you guys will see Nor and Nick a lot in this video. So stay tuned, guys. This is a sick video. Hope you guys really enjoy this type of video, and let us know if we should do more of these in the future. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
So guys, we are here with an E92 M3, and this one is just such an interesting E92 M3, mainly because I talked to my boy, I asked him if it's okay to be transparent, because I like to be as transparent as possible on my videos. But this is right here is not a salvage title. It's a clean title E92 M3 that my boy Nick picked up for, you want to tell him?
$7,500, but wait, you can't film it yet. It looks like a hoopty pile of crap. Wait, try to...
I might have to break the bumper. Basically, one of the splitters fell off earlier. You guys saw it in the last video, kind of like a little sneak peek of it. But yeah, basically the reason why I was only $7,500 is because of this. Like, the damage, it's not terrible. It's not terrible, but it's definitely there, and I definitely think we can get this thing fixed and up and running. This bad boy has 200,000 miles. It's a clean title California car his entire life, and it was maintained by an older guy, right?
Yeah, he owned it for 10 years. He put 150,000 miles on it.
And he literally has a title that says 47,000 miles on it. Right now it's like 204, right? Yeah. 204,000 miles on it. So I just want to show you guys how much a 204,000 miles E92 M3 has aged, because this thing needs a lot of work. And in the next probably like week or two, I'm gonna make one video behind the scenes on this car, fully restoring it, because again, this car definitely deserves to be restored. This is Nick's first M3. He's definitely gonna be enjoying it, and honestly, there's some things about it that make this thing pretty unique, which I'm pretty excited to show you guys. This particular car was very well taken care of. I am happy to say that we have actual paperwork on this car that the throttle actuators have been replaced, and actually not only replaced but upgraded, so they're pretty much almost a lifetime. And then also the rod bearings on this car has been done just recently as well, again with paperwork and everything. And I think you have like a folder this thick, right? Oh yeah, here's the actual proof of the rod bearings. These are original rod bearings, which actually were not in bad shape. This car was warmed up pretty well its entire life. And again, he had a folder this thick of documents for this car, which is really crazy. The previous owner basically got rear-ended by a car that didn't have insurance, or the person didn't have insurance. They were only able to pay up half of the damages on this car. So he took half the money, and he decided to just, I guess, buy another car. And this one was just kind of sitting. Actually, he drove it to you to pick you up at the airport. Yeah. So he drove it to him to pick him up from the airport. Nick literally flew off from Denver to the airport, the LA airport, bought the car. He was picked up in this car, and then I drove it all the way to here 6.5 hours later. And long story short, again, the previous owner got half the money. He couldn't really fix the car. He couldn't total out through insurance. So he basically just had a rear-ended car. He just wanted it gone. He just wanted it gone. And when Nick actually saw this car, I was like, bro, if you don't get it, I'll have to get it, because this is an absolute killer deal, again, for an E92 M3. And again, let me show you guys the options this thing has. Does need a lot of love, does need a lot of work, but I think once we're through with it, it's gonna be a beautiful Silverstone E92 M3. I mean, just check that bad boy out. So guys, to show you the first couple of things, this car does have this Shadowline package, which is again really nice for the price we got this car for. It's not a base model. We have the Shadowline mirrors, the Shadowline trim. Unfortunately, there are little things like this that's around, you know, the entire car with issues. We got a carbon fiber roof, which you didn't even know until you actually came to pick up the car, right? So that was kind of cool. Now, unfortunately, There is a patch right over here that the previous owner tried to repair on it, but just ended up making it worse. So we're probably gonna go ahead and get this thing restored. In the front windshield, it is an OEM BMW windshield right over here. Now coming around to the driver's seat, there is a lot of wear, so we are gonna be on the lookout for 2 front E92 black seats. Over here as well, there is a couple scratches. This door card definitely needs to be replaced. Not really looking too good. Again, the interior definitely shows its age for 200,000 miles, but what's kind of crazy is the steering wheel though is absolutely mint condition. The leather is perfect. A good cleanup is gonna make that thing look absolutely beautiful. The trim though, unfortunately, does have some wear on there. Just so you guys believe me, check out the mileage on this thing. 204,000 miles, not kilometers, guys, miles. That is kind of crazy. Now this car does come with heated seats, which is super nice. Nick, literally the day he got it from LA, before we actually drove back here, within like the hour that he had it, he installed a CIC unit because why not, right?
I want my Bluetooth media.
So he installed the CIC. He didn't upgrade the controller yet because you do have to replace the trim, so he didn't have that. But I believe, if you actually press this right now, this is an 08 car with a 2011 navigation. AC works, everything works right here. As you guys can see, this button's out of place. We're probably gonna pop out this trim and get that button fixed. Right over here, you guys can also see that this dashboard's actually extended leather black, which is kind of crazy. And this dashboard is extended leather black, which I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have never seen an extended leather dash or extended leather interior in black. I've never seen it before, so it's kind of cool to see right here. This car does come with the EDC package, but it is busted. The car is running very stiff right now. Looking at the doors, individual sound system, which is super cool to have, again, for a budget car. So that's super nice. Headliner does need a lot of love. Let me go ahead and show you guys the headliner. It literally looks like a wave, so we're definitely gonna have to swap out all that stuff. This car, because it's a carbon roof, it's gonna be kind of hard to find a black headliner, but once we do, we'll swap that out. We also need some sun visors, swap those out as well. And yeah, just throughout the entire car, it just honestly just really needs a really good cleaning, and then we're gonna start swapping some things out and just getting some new parts, restoring this car because this is an E92 M3 and V8s are becoming extinct. We gotta save them all. Let's go ahead, start restoring this bad boy. The first thing this thing needs is just a really good detail. So months have gone by, and since then, you've been back in Denver.
Yes.
The car's been sent off to the shop. It's been dialed in. I have a little bit of clips here and there that we're gonna throw in probably like right now for you guys. I've actually taken the car to the paint shop, take it to the frame shop, take it to the body shop, all that good stuff. It's all been sorted for the most part. But we have all this stuff that Nick decided to go above and beyond on in terms of getting this 200,000 mileage. Is it exactly 200,000 or how much miles on it?
203,000.
203,000 mileage E92 M3, clean title, back on the road. And he plans on ripping this thing like crazy. So he decided to literally order every single thing you could possibly find on FCP or on a bunch of other websites for this M3, and we're gonna do it all in this video for you guys. So this car is gonna get a full rebuild, refresh, all in this one video. So if you guys are excited for that, make sure to smash that like button and stay tuned. So moments later, guys, we have the rear bumper finally on the car. We went ahead, also drilled out the holes for the PDC sensors. We actually had the shop drill out the holes. I went ahead, added OEM brackets, OEM sensors. All that's hooked up now, so all that's looking really good. Considering the fact that this thing was rear-ended, the gaps are looking super good. Everything's paint matched, and everything's just honestly looking pretty phenomenal. Now, at this point, we are at that point where we do have to also, this is a new trunk because the other trunk was damaged. This wiring is probably gonna get done tomorrow. Same video, but tomorrow for you guys, I mean for us. And right now, we're actually planning on working on the suspension just because you have the rear end of the car up off the ground. This thing needs a whole new refresh just because it's 200,000 miles. Typically, if I pull the Norway, I'm probably just gonna leave that, but we're pulling the Nick way today, so.
It wasn't that much.
He spent a little bit of a fortune, but we're gonna go ahead and refresh all the suspension so this car is gonna drive as if it did off the showroom floor. Hopefully, theoretically, that'd be pretty sick. All right, guys, so hours later, it is literally nighttime. I think it's like 9 p.m. right now. We finally finished both sides of just the rear suspension because honestly, it was such a pain in the butt. Let me show you guys what we ended up replacing. So this upper control arm right over here, let me get a flashlight going for you guys. So that upper one's been replaced. As you guys can see, that one's been replaced as well. And then that one right there has been replaced. And we also added some nice Bilstein shocks. So yeah, bada bing, bada bang. Everything's looking really good suspension-wise. Both of the rears are finally done. It was honestly a pain in the butt. Tomorrow, I guess we'll actually hop on those. I didn't realize how long that will take us, but let me see what time it is. It's only 8:30 right now, kind of crazy. The life of S65, bro. Breaking parts left and right.
Breaking my wallet.
Breaking my wallet for real.
So this is the next day. Nick went ahead and actually removed a bunch of stuff on the top of this motor. He's pretty much trying to get these valve covers both removed. As he's actually trying to remove everything, this little vent, is it not a vent house, the what's it called? The
PCV valve.
PCV valve went ahead and just literally snapped off. So that could have snapped off at any moment. So luckily, we went ahead and sourced one of those locally as well. So we're gonna be replacing that. And we'll be taking off the valve covers, replacing all the seals and gaskets, fuel injectors. We're gonna be doing some things inside the motor as well to protect it and preserve it. So again, a lot of things that be going on underneath here. We're just kind of get all the surface level things out of the way so we can show you guys what we're exactly doing to revive this beast. All right, guys, so right over here, as Nick's actually, you know, working on the top end of the engine, he showed you guys what he was working on. I went ahead and actually started the front end suspension of this car. This thing really needed a fresh new tune-up. All the bushings are pretty much ripped. So we have a brand new Bilstein shock in here. We have brand new control arms, OE control arms. So we have the front control arm replaced, the rear control arm replaced. We have the sway bar end link, and then we also have the tie rod. So all that's been refreshed, all that's been new. This rotor maybe should be replaced as well, but it's good for now. Let's just go ahead and stop on the wheel, and then we are good to go. So guys, hours later, it is literally 8:30 right now. I don't know if you guys can see my phone, 8:30 p.m. And that is the time that we're actually starting to work on his E92 M3. This thing took an absolute big fart on us, not to mention like just everything kind of went wrong today, but end of the day, we got everything we need to get this thing back on the road, and we are in such a time scrunch. We have to get this thing fully assembled in the next 6 or 7 hours because Nick's gonna be taking this thing basically 20 hours to Denver straight driving, which is gonna be absolutely insane. So we're definitely gonna be testing our mechanical skills right here and this full build and seeing if it'll make it with no hiccups. That is honestly something we're both hoping on. The fact that the coolant dumped and now it's not dumping anymore is a little strange. The fact that the starter was working yesterday and is not working today is a little strange. And the fact that the throttle actuators was working last week and all of a sudden doesn't want to work anymore is a little strange. So hopefully, once we get everything sorted right now, this car will be 100% ready. Nick did actually go ahead and knock out all the other maintenance on the car. So for the most part, honestly, once we actually do these throttle actuators and everything else, he actually has the rod bearings from the previous owners. So they were definitely replaced. This thing should pretty much be bulletproof. So fingers crossed, after getting these next couple of hours into the car, this thing will be ready for the drive, but I guess only time will tell. So we'll keep you guys posted, but without further ado, let's go ahead and rip this engine bay apart one more time and get these throttle actuators installed, and not to mention the starter, because that's what honestly left us stranded. So yeah, while Nick's actually working on this stuff right over here, the throttle actuator, starter, and a brand new actually thermostat as well, I'm gonna be working on fully assembling this trunk, fully assembling all this stuff, and working on all the gaps, and just getting this thing fully situated so he can put his luggage in here and take this thing back. So let's get into time-lapse mode and just start knocking things out. Guys, check this out. This thing is flaming hot. This has been a rebuilt, so clearly the previous owner did. Oh my god, bro, they're piping hot.
What do you think I'm dealing with?
Bro, they are so hot. So this definitely was rebuilt. If I shake it, I don't know if you guys can hear, just a bunch of things moving inside of it, and I'm pretty dang sure this isn't supposed to just fall out of there. I've never, yeah, that's a no-go. So whoever that rebuilt these, oh my god, bro, things just keep falling out of it. Who rebuilt these? Is there a name on it? Rebuilded.
I have the receipt if you want to put them on blast, but
I'm not really trying to put anyone on blast. It's just kind of crazy that they rebuild them. I mean, they do offer a lifetime warranty, but since they're in LA, we just, oh, such a shame. Anywho's, thank the Lord, that was our smoking gun. Super happy about that. The next smoking gun was, what was the other smoking gun?
Well, we got the
look at those, 2023. That looks gorgeous. The next thing was, it turns out, oh my god, bro, look at that puddle. Oh my god. So it turns out you replaced the thermostat.
So when you're exhausted and been working for 12 or 15, however long we worked yesterday, and you're too lazy to properly clean the thermostat housing flange, you get a puddle of coolant in the valley.
And basically what happened is all that coolant went back to the starter, which is literally the starter sits right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. That is the starter sitting right back there. And basically, after installing the thermostat, we flooded our starter, and that's the reason why everything started kind of failing at the same time. Our coolant leak, our starter, and who knows, honestly, even possibly our throttle actuators. Possibly. But to be honest, this looks like this disintegrated from the inside. This is not, I mean, it's not even wet, actually. No, this was sitting kind of high.
They're on studs.
Yeah, no, they're on studs. This isn't even wet. So, separate failure, but again, just kind of crazy. I don't even know, how does that, I've never actually had a throttle actuator that looks like this. That is crazy. Anyways, good news is we figured it out. So without further ado, let's go ahead, swap out both those throttle actuators, replace this thermostat, and get to that starter. So hours later, guys, Nick is still working on getting those things out, and I'm actually starting on the roof. We pretty much got the trunk pretty much fully lined up. I swapped out the lock on there, got the BMW logo on there. If I go ahead and open the trunk as well, we actually put in all the liners. I did throw in the extra carpet right over here, but as you guys can see, all this is fitting perfectly. For a car that got rear-ended, honestly, everything sat absolutely perfectly. Super happy to see all that. Went ahead and slapped in some extra things in here that he's gonna be swapping out once he actually gets back. Again, we are in a super big rush, and the number one priority obviously is getting this thing driving. But honestly, while he's doing that, because honestly it's a one-man job, you don't want two people in the engine bay. One man is good enough for the engine bay. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I do best, which is wrapping roofs. This thing has a super bad carbon pretty much like peel to it right here. It looks like he actually tried repairing this area, but instead made it a whole lot worse. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is sand down the areas that are super rough and go ahead and just wrap this complete roof in gloss black. Now, obviously, eventually, Nick is probably gonna go ahead and get this thing refinished in carbon fiber, but in the meantime, wrapping it black because it looks a whole lot better than this. This just looks terrible, and we don't have time right now to get that thing repaired properly. Guys, it is 12:25 right now. I really don't know what we're still doing here. We really need to make sure this thing gets on the road. Nick actually got the new starter installed. He got the throttle actuators installed and the new thermostat installed. So pretty much it's just reassembly time. And I went ahead and also finished the roof on this car as well. I think it came out super nice. So we got the gloss black roof. The unfortunate thing is that this little section part of the clear coat of the carbon fiber roof is really showing through it. But honestly, if you stand like from right here, you can't really tell anything's going on with the roof. Maybe the camera can pick it up because it's better quality than my eyes. My eyes are kind of blurry, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, this thing's looking so much better. Super happy in how it came out, especially from the driver's perspective. This thing looks super sick. At this point, the trunk is fully assembled, which is the place of impact. So technically, the repairs of this car is 100% pretty much done. We do need to reconnect the PDCs. Other than that, yeah, the roof is done. What else? The interior it's pretty much good to go. We just need a headliner, not a big deal. And like I said, hopefully in a little bit here, all of this will be reassembled. So a couple more hours later, we have the plenum and everything else fully assembled. I mean, not really fully assembled. We left a couple things off. We want to go ahead and give the car its first startup before tightening up everything else and seeing if these throttle actuators actually work, if we have a half check engine or everything is gravy in the Navy. So that being said, guys, hopefully it starts up, which means our starter would be good if it does. And like I said, if the check engine light is gone, that's a great thing. And that means our throttle actuators are working. And if we don't see any coolant leaks, which means we did our thermostat properly. And we did actually notice that there was an O-ring that was cracked. That's probably the lead cause for the coolant leak. This is nerve-wracking. It is finally the moment to see if all of our work at this night was worth it. All right, guys, moment of truth. Hit it, Nick. Yes. Okay, start up, looking so far so good. We still have a half check engine, but that could be because the
belts are a little wet.
Is the but the RPM's at 6,000, which means that both of them are working. I think you just need to go ahead and clear the codes. We might be good. Earlier, this car would not be able to pass 4,000 RPMs. That's because one of the throttle actuators was bad. So it's kind of a hint of finding out if a throttle actuator is bad. At least one of them, if basically your car won't even pass 4,000 RPMs. So yeah, so far it unleashed full RPMs, which is kind of good. We still have a check engine. Could be because we have to clear the codes, but so far so good. Looking pretty promising. So just like that, guys, this thing finally doesn't have a check engine light. No lights on the dash. Starts up, no problem. Super happy. My man can finally go home. He had his entire trip kind of planned for tomorrow, and so many things got in front of our way, but thankfully we still knocked it out. It is 2 a.m. I'm super stoked to drive back home right now. I'll try to have him send us some pictures once he actually gets back to Denver, but again, super happy how everything actually went down. But without further ado, I think it's gonna have to conclude the video. Again, if I have some extra footage or photos, I'll throw it in here.
Here's the best part of this E92 M3. No lights, no airs, no nothing, just crossed 206,000 miles and it's still going strong. So even the trunk is unlocked, all the carpeting is clean and then fits as OEM. Nothing's cracked, everything's good to go. Still got the original license plates and then the original rod bearings back here. So
alrighty guys, and that is the end of the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I wasn't in the video too much, but Nick knocked out that E92 M3. It is looking really sick now. He ended up fixing it here in Sacramento and drove all the way back to Colorado, all in the matter of like a day and a half. So he went pretty crazy. At the end of the trip, he actually hit some hail. So the M3 ended up getting hail damage right after we rebuilt it. So that kind of sucks, but he is still rocking it over there. He is fully enjoying that car. He did a lot of maintenance, as you guys saw, spent a lot of money, but now is currently enjoying a clean title E92 M3 that we all rebuilt. So that is very, very exciting. So if you guys like these type of videos, let us know down below. Make sure to comment as well if you guys want to see more builds like this. And if so, let us know what car we should do next. With all that being said though, guys, make sure to check us out on Instagram, Naughty Auto Parts on Instagram. Make sure to check out my Instagram, Nor's Instagram, and I don't even think Nick has an Instagram, but if he does, I will go ahead and throw it up over here. Make sure to subscribe while you guys are at it. Make sure to like the video. With all that being said, guys, we will catch you guys in the next video.